Butts.
Butts, 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 butts.
I'm CJ. And I'm Lou. Grab your tinfoil hat and tune into Speculating Wildly, your number one source for completely accurate, opinion-based news.
Guess what? I'm actually gonna start being funny now. This is for real this time.
Yes.
Anything could happen. You never know what's on the other side of a hello. I just came up with that.
It's kind of romantic.
Thank you. I'm feeling really invigorated by the sun. It's 4:44 where I am right now. I have a jolly, youthful spirit in my heart, and I'm going to use that to my full advantage.
Amen. And let it rub off on me, please.
I will. I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to send you my jolly, youthful spirit, and I'm going to keep my pneumonia to myself.
Please.
Because
I don't want to be sick.
No,
but I'll send my wealth toward you. Wealth?
I'll take wealth, I'll take health, I'll take happiness.
Health. Well, and health is wealth.
As they say. Now, why do you think they started saying cleanliness is next to godliness? Where do you think that came from?
Because you can't be a whore.
And whores are dirty. Okay! Speaking of godliness, we came here to talk about our one and true God, Disney. That's right, folks. Today, we're doing a Disney deep dive. We've each watched a film. Rumor has it, Lou's watched one or two.
Well, okay, can I say, I've been celibate from Disney for...
That is not how I thought that sentence was going to end.
I've been celibate from Disney for years.
Years?
I think the last movie I saw was Coco, maybe? And I think that was maybe 5 years ago. 4 years ago.
Wow. We live different lives.
Joe Biden was in office, is all I can say.
Can I tell you, I literally forgot about that man. Entirely.
Same. I really remembered him recently. Anyway, so getting back in there.
Yeah, what was it like?
Scrolling through the pages of Disney Plus, I was like... and so, yeah. And then the whole time I was watching, I was sort of just gobsmacked. And I hate, like, the nostalgia, buddy. Oof.
Yeah, what caught your eye as a nostalgic twinge that made you want to be millennial cringe? I'm going to be Dr. Seuss. On the loose.
Well, I can't say anything about that yet. Okay. I can't say anything about, let me, Princess Diaries, Disney.
Absolutely.
When I was looking at, because we sort of agreed that we were both going to watch films prior to the year 2000.
Yes. We're going way
then
back.
I was looking at my options. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, before, like, when do you think things started to take a left turn? Anyway, but I wanted to watch every single thing that there was.
Yeah. And so, I think we have to consider that with Disney, it started left. You know, it started with a because I found my film haunting.
Sure. They're famous for that at the beginning.
So I'm excited to sort of get into it. Now, could you speak a little bit, before we get into the films that we watched for this week, could you speak a little bit, what is your history with Disney? Were you a Disney kid? Were you more Nickelodeon? Sort of what was your daily intake like before celibacy?
Television? No, and thank you.
Yeah.
In the world of television, I was a Nickelodeon kid more than a Disney kid. I was a Disney Junior kid over Nick Jr., though.
Oh.
And then I grew into Nickelodeon, sort of, and swapped. But I love a DCOM, and Hannah Montana really got me back in there. And then Cousins and I, when we, Disney Movie Nation. Like, Disney Movie Nation. And yeah, I love it. I have a fondness for it. I have been to Park on either coast. Once as a youth group outing and once as as a baby, and I'm in.
Yeah.
My sentiment is we are so back.
You're feeling revitalized by the Disney? Were you a Disney princess kid? Because I was more of a Pixar kid, personally.
I think Pixar scared me.
Because of the Uncanny Valley?
Yeah, well, yeah, me and animation, and that's sort of why early Disney rocks.
Yeah.
Because I love that, but then
Right.
when it got computery is when I started getting scared of cartoons and Pixar. And the first Pixar I saw was Monsters, Inc., and it did not sit well. And I still sleep with my closet door open.
I love that about you.
So, they got me. Okay, but I was Belle once, and I was Tinkerbell for a long time.
I think you might be Tinkerbell today. Looking at you, that's what I'm getting.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's true. Shoot.
Yeah.
But what? Okay, so you were sort of a Pixar girly, but give me full history, please.
I was like a Woody the Cowgirl ass girl. I was Jessie the Cowgirl for Halloween. I was Jessie the Cowgirl in everyday life. I was big into Disney across the board. I was from a big Disney family. My parents weren't Disney adults because I think that a Disney adult is a rather millennial thing. Lucky us.
Yeah.
But I went to Disney World quite often, and it was like our big thing that we would do. And I loved Disney films. We didn't have cable for a while growing up. My parents kind of took that away from us. So we would go to my grandma's house whenever a new Disney Channel original movie was coming out and sort of have dinner at my grandma's house and then watch the new DCOM. Famously, before COVID shut us down, I was part of a hit improvised Disney Channel original movie improv group. Shout out to those guys. So I'm pretty embarrassing when it comes to like my history with Disney. Do I yearn to go to Disney World as we speak? Absolutely. But now I want to go and sort of like investigate the deep, dark nastiness. Because the film I watched really was like, oh. And then you hear all the things that you hear, right, about the current state of the world and the way that there are no good executives on any level. And so you go like, Walt Disney, what is up with a man who came up with all this stuff? You know? So, speaking of a man whose motives aren't clear, I would like to get into the film that I watched for this week's pod.
Please.
Okay. So I have prepared some hints so that you and the listeners at home might guess as to what film it is that I watched. Are you ready?
Born for this.
Are you focused?
I couldn't be more focused. I just don't know if you can hear the children screaming outside of my house.
And let me tell you, I absolutely can. 100%.
Okay. So, school's out, guys.
I think
deal with it.
They add to the ambiance to me. Because what is Disney if not for screaming children? Okay. So the first hint for this film was it was straight up, it was a snooze fest. It was really boring. It was so hard to get through. I was like, wow, they really used to make movies different because approximately 6 things happened in the course of a 90-minute movie. Nowadays, by 90 minutes, we'd have seen like 120 things. So my first hint is boring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to guess with each hint, or should I sort of...
I think follow your heart. Do you have an initial guess?
Nope.
Okay. Then I will move on. Hint number 2. It is a thinly veiled cautionary tale to guilt children into obeying their parents.
Totally.
Thinly veiled. It's like, ooh, don't do this or bad things happen to you. And it has an ambiguous accent, apparently.
I like that. Still no guess. Because
Yeah.
that could be almost everyone.
Right, exactly.
Almost every Disney movie.
Which does make sense because like that's what fairy tales were, right? They were allegories, they were like, you know, metaphors, kind of like the Bible. Okay. Hint number 3, this one's really not going to help you at all. But hint number 3, there was a surprising amount of butt touches or references to touching butts within the first 10 minutes of this film. At least 4 different butts were touched or mentioned.
That's wild. Okay.
Yeah. Now,
Still
okay,
still no for me.
I've given you 3 guesses, so I'm going to insist you make a hint. I mean, flip
yeah,
that
no,
reverse
and that's
it.
fair. So I can't just learn the movie and then tell you what it is.
Yeah.
The butt is really throwing me.
Right. Well, because you would not expect it.
Okay. And I'm also just trying to think of movies with, like, more than 4 characters. Because I feel like you need more than 4 characters to touch a lot of butts.
You would think. But they made it happen.
Butts.
Butts, 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 butts.
I'm gonna guess Cinderella, but I know that it's wrong.
It is not Cinderella. Thank you so much for your first guess. Okay.
But I remember butt from Cinderella. Sorry. The
Do you?
Sisters had, like, big bustles. And that's, so I was just thinking of butt in that way.
Yeah, those are big bustly butts. Okay. Your 4th hint. It features an old man with unclear intentions.
Classic. Okay, wait. Did you watch the scariest film of all time, Pinocchio?
I watched the scariest film of all time, Pinocchio. And for a film that is
scary.
It's so scary and also so boring somehow. Okay, but I'm going to read the rest.
I don't think I've ever made it through. Yeah, no, please keep going.
It was really hard to do. I did not make it through in one sitting. I was like, all right, that's enough. And then I was like, all right, I gotta go back. I have to watch this. So other things about this film, it contains graphic depictions of children drinking, smoking, and worst of all, pool playing. Do you remember when, we weren't there, but have you heard of a time wherein people were like, the pool halls, you can't play pool, pool's for ruffians?
Yes. I don't think I'm familiar with it.
Have you ever seen The Music Man?
The phrase pool hall. Have I ever seen The Music Man?
Yeah. No. Whoa.
But 76 trombones. Is that correct?
As far as I know. All I know from Music Man is 76 trombones, Hugh Jackman, and the capital T that rhymes with P that stands for pool. Because the Music Man is trying to open a pool hall or something, and they're like,
whoa,
he's bad for that.
And because that's where dirty people go.
Because pool is for whores.
Hooters.
That's the best way to say horse, in case anyone's wondering. Whores.
Cracked it.
Then the rest of it doesn't matter. The point is, this film was a horror show, and the butt-touching references were astounding. I will say this. It was really fun to watch because, like, it just made you go, ugh. The animation. Like, it is visually stunning.
Brother.
And to think of, like, the teams of people that had to come together to make it. Like, watching the opening credits, I was like, wow. It was like, when did the movie come out? I should know. I just watched it. What's your guess? When did this film come out?
Pinocchio? Okay, it was, like, before... Well, I'll talk about that later. Okay, I'm going to say it's 1949.
1940.
Okay, whoa.
Isn't it hard to even fathom, like, how they did that? I truly don't understand the science. Yeah. But then again, in case it isn't clear, I don't understand the science of anything.
Well, science is fake.
Science is fake. It's made up. And...
nothing is real. Baguettes in the walls.
Okay, tell that story right now. Now that you brought it up, you gotta talk about the baguettes. You haven't talked about it on pod.
I know, I can cut that.
No. Let's talk about the baguettes. The magic baguette.
Okay, so I heard from the famous podcast Perfect Person that there's scientists working on, like, wormholes and black holes via magnet. And it's in, like, big security facilities, and, like, you have to... What's that movie, Contagion? Where they have to, like, walk through biohazard sprays and stuff. It's very that. Like, you have to be clean, suited up to go work on your magnet magic. One day, recently, they found a baguette in the wall. They don't know how it got there. There's a wall of magnets, baguette in the middle. No one brought it in because they have to be naked in their biohazard suits, clean style. You can't take a baguette out of your butt and reconstitute it well and put it back in the wall.
Thank you.
Anyway, so that's what I have to say about baguette in the wall. Science is fake because there's baguettes in the wall.
It is just like that really happened. Well, okay, so it's from you heard about it on the podcast Perfect Person with Miles Bonsignore,
Yeah,
famous.
haven't double checked it a single time.
No, because why would you?
Famous.
Yeah, famous scientist. Miles Bonsignore.
I trust Miles Bonsignore.
Exactly. I would put him on a list of trusted men.
Yeah, 1 of 4.
Okay, the other 3 are my dad, Jacob Wysocki, Miles, and
my grandpa.
And Walter. Okay. That makes sense.
Those are the ones.
I would sign off on that list. Okay, here's a man who cannot be trusted. Geppetto. Okay, so this film opens, and Geppetto is a seemingly lovely old man who lives alone amongst his many toys and clocks and other strange inventions. I'm sorry, he actually does not live alone. He lives with what has to be one of the cutest cats in Disney history, Figaro.
Yeah.
I wanted to
Disney
weep.
cats. Disney cats. One of my guys, one of the ones I watched, had an amazing Disney cat.
Okay.
And I would also like to suggest to everyone in the world the Aristocats. If you want to talk about beautiful animation.
So true.
Get in there.
You know what else has really beautiful animation that I have watched recently because I have not been Disney celibate because I'm a freak who doesn't know how to grow up and be a real man? Oh.
No, you're a real man.
I'm a real man in the eyes of God. Wait, what? Now everyone's gonna... Anyway, let's move on. The sunshine and my ADHD are really just... I was gonna say 101 Dalmatian. Really beautiful, really unique animation because it's like you can see all like the hatch marks and stuff. So
Yeah, and the opening credits of that are...
And the music in that is
my
good
breath
too.
away.
So this episode is sort of becoming like a sing the praises of Disney more than like an uncover their deep dark secrets.
Sure.
Which just goes to show how powerful their forces are.
Yeah. Well, I'm so scared of them and the power they wield.
Yeah.
However, boy, when it's good, it's good.
Dude.
And there ain't nothing like it.
There really isn't.
There's nothing like it.
But we'll get to new Disney and what they've got going on later. But for now, Geppetto is an old man who lives in a home full of toys and clocks and a myriad of other strange inventions with the cutest cat in Disney history and what I would describe as an overtly sexual fish. The goldfish in that film...
Hot fish.
She's got...
Hottest fish there's ever been.
Big eyes and like fluttering eyelashes. She's got voluptuous lips.
She's so beautiful.
Who was like, I gotta make the fish sexy. Why?
Well, have you seen the original Fantasia?
Yes.
There's a lot of sexy fish in that.
So Disney sort of started with sexy fish.
Early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm not complaining, but I guess I'm a freak.
You know, I'm just like, is it for children or is it for fishermen who are lonely? What's your target audience with your sexy fish?
I love fishermen that are lonely because that implies that fishermen are fishermen because they want to fuck the fish they catch.
I don't know what they do.
That's gorgeous. And well, maybe I've been thinking about it wrong the whole time.
Yeah. And I just got really mad as if I was married to a fisherman and I was like, I can't believe he's out there fucking the fish. He says he's trying to feed our family and in reality he's out there fucking the fish.
He's fucking all those fish.
But I guess Geppetto got sick of fucking the fish because then he decides that he needs to wish for a little boy. And he says something like, a little boy, Figaro. Could you imagine a thing more wonderful than that? And then he goes on to sing a song about how wonderful it would be to have a little boy. And I would just like to say, he does not say, like, it would be great to have a child. Or I would love to be a father. or it would be wonderful to have a son. He says it would be a joy to have a little boy. And then he describes all the different parts of a little boy. And the last part he sings about...
You're right.
Yeah. He's like, he'd have ears, and he'd have a nose, and he'd have a butt. I'd squeeze it. He doesn't quite say that. But he does specifically, like, you have to say that, like, the little boy would have a butt. Like, that's in the realm of the song. He says that he would have a seat.
If you're not careful, sure, he would have a seat.
Yeah.
If you're not careful, if you leave the butt out, what kind of little boy are you going to get?
You're going to get yourself a buttless little boy. And apparently that would be no use to Geppetto. Freakazoid. So Geppetto sings this song about wanting a little boy. Again, I believe in a world where there is like a lonely old man who like really wants to be a father. I think that's a very different presentation than being a lonely old man with a sexy fish who sings I want a little boy.
Yeah. I agree there are insane undertones to this movie.
Yeah. So that's where we're beginning. We're starting with this. From there, we do begin with Jiminy Cricket. The name Jiminy really needs to make a comeback. Mm-hmm. This is my son, Jiminy. A cat named Jiminy.
And you know what I miss in cartoons? Named Jiminy.
That's a...
I miss characters, and I don't know if Jiminy Cricket has this, but he has the vibe of someone who would. Sort of shoes so old your sock toe is coming out.
He does have that. He has the toes hanging out of his shoes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
God, when I was a kid, I ate that shit up.
Me too.
Bring back clowning. Bring back Jiminy and bring back clowning.
Yeah. I remember, there were a lot of toes sticking out of socks and shoes back in the day. You don't see as much of that anymore in cartoons.
No, toes are in the shoes.
Unless you're on Nickelodeon, and then they're the Big Feet Network.
Yeah.
That's an episode for a different day.
Really it is. Sorry, keep going, because it does get scarier every passing minute of this movie.
Yeah. So we've started with this lonely man. Jiminy Cricket comes in. His little toes are hanging out of his shoes. And then the old man is like, look, a wishing star. And he wishes for his little boy. It is at that point that the blue fairy comes in. And, I'm sorry.
Also gorgeous.
She's stunning. Okay. And also a grown woman, which is amazing. Because you don't see a lot of those running around in Disney films. Because usually they're what? Dead. So Geppetto has wished for a little boy, but don't worry. In the meantime, he has crafted Pinocchio, who before gains sentience is the most horrifying thing I have ever seen. With his big eyes and his little button nose, and he's so scary.
I hate his nose.
Yeah.
Which is probably why they replace it later on.
When he becomes a real boy? Spoilers. Spoilers for a movie from 1940.
Guys, he does turn into a real boy.
He becomes a real boy. But not before trials and tribulations. Because when the blue fairy comes to turn this horrifying doll into a real boy for this lonely old man, she tells him that it's up to him whether or not he becomes a real boy. He has to be good. And he has to learn to be, honest, brave. It's brave, truthful, and unselfish. Those are the three things that make you worthy of boyhood. I wish that were true. I wish more boys were running around, truthful, brave, and unselfish. We'd live in a different world.
We've only got the 4. Yeah.
Yeah. The 4 good ones. So the giant blue fairy comes and grants this wish, kind of. Which I'm
halfway.
Okay.
Well, I think she's being skeptical of men, which is also important.
That is so true. She's trying to be an ally, but she is still like, I'll give this old man a little boy. So then that's when she turns Jiminy Cricket into his conscience, and that's when he becomes enchanted and his toes go back into his shoes. He gets shoes with toes. Also, the way that Jiminy Cricket looks not an iota like a cricket.
He looks sort of like a pea.
He does. He looks exactly like a pea.
Like a bean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a big lima bean or something. Or something.
100%. So 2 of the other butt references for now were Jiminy Cricket comes in and he's going to warm his little butt by the fire. And he literally is like,
I remember this.
He goes, I need to warm my Self. But he pauses before self as he's rubbing his butt and warming it.
Amen. Does it get so hot that he goes, woohoo, and flies away?
I think he does. You have a really good memory. Wow.
Well, Pinocchio was so horrifying that I do believe every frame is burned into my brain.
That's amazing.
It's so scary.
Do you know what film it really reminds me of? Another horror? Were you ever a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang kid?
I've never seen it. Yeah.
We're gonna have to change that.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard much. I've heard much things.
So scary. So we have
Okay, I'm in.
The song about the little boy with the butt, which is really just giving if you want to get into the boys' hole, you gotta pay the troll toll, you know? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia vibes. Okay. So we have that. We have Jiminy Cricket warming his butt by the fire. And then Jiminy Cricket also touches the butt of a lady figurine. He's like, whoa!
Whoa.
And then Geppetto, who again has wished for a little boy with a butt, has invented a cuckoo clock. Also, I believe there is like a demonic background to cuckoo clocks that I did not give myself time to research.
Ooh, interesting.
But he has invented a demonic cuckoo clock wherein what pops out is a little boy getting his bare butt spanked.
Yes, I remember this. And also, I think they do that in Shrek. They spank Pinocchio.
Yeah, probably.
Sorry.
Don't bring DreamWorks into this.
Free associating, and that's not cool.
Yeah. We stay on topic in this podcast. That's what we're known for.
Yeah. Also, I'm scared of Demon Cuckoo Clock because I got a cuckoo clock up on my wall. Should I take it off? Down?
I mean, look. I just say things. I have not researched a word of what I say. I overhear something and I misinterpret it, and then I'm saying things like all cuckoo clocks are demonic. So don't take what I'm saying to heart.
I will.
So, Pinocchio comes to life, kind of, via the blue fairy granting this wish half-assed, to which he promptly goes to sleep in the same bed as Geppetto, okay? So,
okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
What are we learning there? What are we saying to children? I don't know. But the point is, everyone says that this movie is really about child trafficking, and they're not even talking about Geppetto. They're talking about the events that follow.
Yeah.
So, Geppetto's like, okay, and then tomorrow you'll go to school. Imagine gaining sentience after being a wooden doll, and then immediately you have to go to school.
Hell.
Like,
take him to the fair first.
Let me have a little bit of fun before I suddenly have all these responsibilities upon my shoulders. And that's exactly what he has, is responsibilities. To try to learn to be, do you remember what the 3 words are?
Brave. Honest. And sexy.
Yeah. That's I don't know what I was going to say. A byproduct of being a little boy, according to this film. No, he had to be unselfish.
What's the 3rd word?
Unselfish.
Unselfish, okay.
Brave, truthful, and unselfish. So, immediately upon departing for school, Pinocchio is approached by Honest Jack. Honest Jack also has, like, toe-out sock action, but he's a fox. A big, giant, scary fox. Not sexy. Not a sexy fox like Robin Hood.
No, that's the only sexy fox.
What about Fantastic Mr.
Until
Fox?
Zootopia, I guess.
Yeah. Disney. What is with Disney?
Love that fox.
People love to want to fuck the characters in Zootopia, and
yeah,
you know,
I haven't wanted that yet.
I'm glad for you.
It comes for us all.
Do you think?
I don't know. Furries are gaining popularity every second. And I know it's not just sexual, but I think that often it is, and I think often it's Disney sexual style. Haven't you seen all those videos of kids on TikTok being like, my mom just sat me down in front of Disney movies, that's why I'm a furry?
No, but I also, most of what I see on the internet is like, make a lunch with me for my 6-year-old child. And I'm like, yeah, I will.
Sure.
I've been getting served a lot of this like really beautiful woman who goes, come make dinner with me. And then she's like, my husband's having a steak. And then she has like a giant steak she puts on the plate. And then she goes, and squash. And then she'll be like, my daughter's having a salad, steak, and squash. I'm having white rice, chicken, and a salad. And then she goes, and this is what we're having for dinner tonight. And I watch her shit, and I'm like, yeah, tell me what 3 different dinners. I'll send her to you. I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah, thank you. I love the British woman who gives her family different types of jacket potatoes.
I'm so hungry.
And her husband is always like, it's just like, Greg has a little bit of beef on his, and she goes, honk, hamburger. And then she's like, I put 2 leaves of spinach on mine. Anyway,
and
it's
those,
the same but different.
Yeah, and those are the 2 genders. Big beef, little spinach.
That is the binary.
Yep. I don't make the rules. So, Pinocchio's on his way to school.
So big sexy fox, unsexy. Sorry.
Unsexy fox. He's a gross one. He comes and he's like, Pinocchio, I want to take you because I know about this puppeteer who's in town. And I'm going to sell you to him. But he doesn't tell Pinocchio this. He is like, Pinocchio, great name, by the way, kid. Don't you want to be an actor? And isn't it interesting that this...
Isn't
it interesting that this movie, this Hollywood movie from big corporation, big guy, big producer, big studio, that's the word I was looking for, is like, let's trick this child into being in a situation he does not want to be in by luring him in with fame and stardom and be like, don't you want to be an actor? Isn't it interesting?
Isn't it interesting? It's interesting to me.
I think so too. And then like it really did make me think of like Judy Garland and like Shirley Temple and all of and just like the way that studios used to function, wherein once you became like an actor for a studio, that studio like did own you. Like MGM like ruled your personal life, your image, everything about you was like belonging to them. And like, you couldn't make movies with other studios. So I think that obviously is inherently nefarious. And then I'm like, who invented being famous? And then who invented like celebrities? Because I guess it makes sense that like the king is famous or like the ruler is famous. But at what point did we start having to create false idols to worship because of themselves, you know? Does that make sense?
We should trace it back. We'll find the first one.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
I mean, vaudeville, right? But, like, you think in Shakespearean times, people who would put on the plays were, like, stopped on the street?
Right, I don't know.
I feel like the first, like, well-known actors I learned about were vaudeville and silent film.
Yeah, like Charlie Chaplin. I'm sorry, I'm yawning.
Yeah.
I'm yawning because Pinocchio is so boring.
Well, and I was just about to launch into an even more boring person, and I can't remember his name, so we should just...
So we'll scurry past that. And so then Pinocchio goes and he's first trafficked to this one man. He's trafficked to the puppeteer, and the puppeteer does a puppet show, and Pinocchio sings, I got no strings to hold me down, and I was like, cute song, fun song, yay. But then he goes back and the guy's like, oh, that was great, Pinocchio. And Pinocchio's like, thanks, that was super fun. I'll go tell my dad about it. And then the guy's like, tell your dad, that's a good one. And then he locks him in a bird cage.
Yes. Bird cages are huge for children to get locked in Disney, if I remember correctly.
So scary, the thought of being in a giant bird cage.
Yeah.
Ew.
Freaky deaky.
Freaky deaky. And that is what that guy is. He's freaky deaky. Pinocchio's been trafficked now once. Winks, okay? Then he escapes because he starts lying. Because the blue fairy comes. And then we learn about his lying nose. Which is, like, honestly, not that big of a part of the movie. For that being the thing that, like, we all think about with Pinocchio.
Mm-hmm.
It only happens in, like, that one scene, I feel like.
There's some lovely bird song coming from your end of the pod.
Is there? My window is
at
open,
least.
and I am a famous bird lady, so...
Yeah, it's like...
It's so funny because I can't hear it. Because I can only hear you.
Well...
But tis the season. So, Pinocchio...
He got child trafficked once.
He got child trafficked into stardom, into, like, you know, fame. A classic way to traffic a child, truly. I mean, you think of child stars, right? I mean, hello.
Yeah.
And it is, like, ultimately, what are the ethics of having children in movies and film and TV? Is there a way to do it ethically?
I don't really think so.
Right?
I don't really think so. I think about it a lot because I wanted to be a child star so bad.
Right. That guy had something to say about it.
Honk, 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 honk.
He said, say that. So that's another question for another day. We'll have to sort of look into that deeper, as we do with all things, because we'll leave no stone left unturned. If there's a mystery out there,
Amen.
We're going to solve it.
We're on the case.
Did you ever watch, speaking of child stars and trafficking, did you ever watch Olsen and Olsen Mystery Agency will solve any crime by dinner time?
I wish.
Ashley.
I didn't watch any extracurricular Mary and Kate. Mary. You can tell. You can tell it's showing that I never watched any. I only knew Full House.
Okay. I was a big Mary Kate and Ashley head. Loved.
I feel like everyone in the world but me was.
Yeah.
I recently watched the Halloween movie for the first time, and it was good.
So good. Toil and Trouble. What's it called?
Good.
Double Trouble?
Yeah.
Toil and Trouble?
Double.
Anyway, cute. I know. That's the thing. It's like that shit was so good and it was so cute. And like those children had no business working that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think, like, do we know of one child actor who's like, it was great, no trauma, would put my kids through the same thing? I don't think that exists.
No one who, like, reached a level of stardom, you know? I'm sure there are, like, kids who, like, I was an actor, whatever, but, like, I don't think it's right for kids to be famous, ultimately. Because we shouldn't be knowing about children who are not in our personal lives.
Correct.
But Pinocchio didn't know that, so he went out and he became a little star and then was like, I want to go home, and then got locked in a birdcage, and then the blue fairy came and saved him. But then he goes home and Geppetto's not there, and that's because Geppetto went out to look for him. But then he gets stopped by Little John again. And Little John has run into this man who's looking for naughty little boys, like literally looking for naughty little boys.
Yeah.
And he wants to take them to a place called Pleasure Island.
Yeah.
Wherein little boys are lured to Pleasure Island in this film with the promise of drinking and smoking and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nasty.
It's also famous in Disney for children to smoke a cigar and turn green.
And that does happen to Pinocchio.
Yeah.
He does smoke a cigar and turn green.
A lot of cigars.
Yeah. Also, like, I'm like, what is in those cigars? Because I think a cigar does not fuck you up.
I think a cigar would turn me green.
I mean, it doesn't.
You smell those things?
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah. A cigarette almost turns me green.
Man. Oh, a cigarette. Man. God really went crazy by going, let's make something so fun and so bad for you. He said, I'm
Yeah.
going to make cigarettes and alcohol. And I do think that cigarettes and alcohol were divined by God. Apparently.
Just like every other white man.
Yeah. And I do see God in all white men. Okay, fine. I'll say it.
Someone had to.
I'm lying. I'm doing a bit.
She tells me that all the time.
Oh, also, one of my notes just... Hey. One of my notes just says, why does Geppetto have a gun?
Totally.
So I guess at some point, Geppetto's... Because he's just walking around his house with a big gun at some point.
Yeah. I'm really... I'm really coming at things from a cartoon point of view, and I'm just like, well, shooting a gun in cartoon is fun.
Yeah.
The end gets all big.
Exactly.
Boom!
Yeah.
Ying.
Big puff of smoke.
I love cartoon. Yeah.
Cartoon is good. So all the boys on Pleasure Island. So Pinocchio goes to Pleasure Island with a boy named like Limp Bizkit or something like that. And so he and Limp Bizkit
Yeah,
go
Limp
to
Bizkit is king of Pleasure Island.
Yeah. That's how Fred Durst chose his name, was from Pinocchio. So Pinocchio and Fred Durst go to Pleasure Island, wherein they smoke a cigar. And Limp Bizkit says to Pinocchio, you smoke like my grandma, take a bigger puff. And then he turns green. And then they start drinking beer. A crazy thing for a child to drink.
And they hiccup bubbles, because that's famous for cartoons.
That is famous cartoon. But the beer, by the way, it's not just bad enough to be like, I'm going to heavily feature children drinking beer in this movie. But it's also drugged, because it's going to turn them into a what? A donkey. It does turn them into, like, the world's cutest donkeys. They are so fucking cute.
Donkeys are the cutest animal we have.
A miniature donkey is a sight to behold. It's the greatest thing
Do I
God
say this every
has made.
single episode?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think you've ever said it.
Have you ever seen a donkey sit on a ball?
No! Where would I see this?
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's next episode.
Yeah, next episode we're just gonna do cute animal pals.
Unlikely friendships.
That's more of an episode for two peas in a podcast, but
That's true.
We'll leave them out of it. So then again, that's another instance of Pinocchio being child trafficked, you know, and he's sold to these men. And by the way, this is all before we even get introduced to the most scariest part of the film, which is the whale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, by the way,
the scariest part of the film.
Makes no sense. The continuity in this film is poor. And by continuity,
Amen.
I mean, I don't know what. But literally, they end up inside a whale because Pinocchio gets a note from the Blue Fairy that his dad, Geppettophile, wait a minute.
Whoa.
Pedophile? I'm unearthing
dude.
truths left and right.
I was gonna say, the truth is always in plain sight. Dang
Amen. Literally they get a note that Geppetto has gone to look for Pinocchio, but got swallowed by a whale. And so Pinocchio's like, I gotta go save my dad, who I've known for 2 minutes. So then they get swallowed by the whale. And then somehow they get out of the whale. This is when I really lost the plot. You know, I was like, all right.
Yeah. Well, because it's scary and you're like, what?
Yeah.
So that's...
I was
Hey,
like,
so this is really the part of the movie where people are going, huh?
yeah. Huh? But I'm scared. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then they get out of the whale and like live happily ever after, and Pinocchio has proven himself and he becomes a real boy.
Because he finally stopped lying.
Because he finally learns to stop lying. Although, again, the lying isn't even that big of a part of it. I think, if I'm right, he only lies in that one scene where we learn that it makes his nose grow. And that's while he's stuck in the bird cage. The Blue Fairy comes and is like, oh, what are you doing? Why didn't you go to school? And the lie he tells is, like, not even that big of a lie. He's like, 2 monsters came and took me. And I'm sorry, what was Honest John and his creepy cat sidekick if not 2 monsters?
Say that.
So, all of that to say, people think that this film is about child trafficking. I think it's boring and horrifying at the same time. What kind of conspiracy could you make out of that?
Child trafficking really seems true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't trust single fathers.
Oh no!
All of their children are wood.
Yeah.
Pool halls are dangerous. They'll turn you into an ass.
Absolutely. But I mean, I would like to look like one of those donkeys. They were so cute.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Also, like, what's up with all the really, really cute, sexy animals in this film?
Oh, here's a conspiracy theory that I know that's people talk about.
Okay.
Is that Eeyore is one of the children from Pleasure Island.
What?
Yeah. That's why he's so sad.
Because he used to be a real boy. That scene really is scary, though, where, like, so there's the guy who wanted the children because he wants to sell them. So the guy who wanted the children, a little, like, boy donkey comes out and is like, I want my mama, I want my mama. And is there anything sadder than, like, I hate in a horror movie where, like, someone's calling for their mother. I, like, can't do it.
It's the worst.
Ugh! It's so sad. And then he's like, send that one back. He can still talk. And, like, that's so scary. And also, why is he turning the little boys into asses? Is it because they're butts?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Ah!
Yeah.
I'm so scared of the men who made that movie.
It's really scary.
I don't like it. I did not like watching it. 10 out of 10 would not watch again. 10 out of 10 would never show to a child.
God,
Ever.
no. I think I've literally seen it 2 times. I think I saw it once when I was, like, probably 5.
Yeah.
And then once as an adult being like, it probably wasn't that scary. And then being like, nope, it was bad and scary.
But also beautifully animated.
Of course.
Like, the way Monstro the whale is drawn.
Yes.
It's like true artistry. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you own any of the Disney VHSs that had the behind the scenes of Peter Pan? I think Peter Pan specifically, but like there's behind the scenes of like how they animated Tinkerbell and the scene where Tinkerbell's like skating around on a mirror and they bring this like beautiful woman in to skate around on a giant mirror. And just like
that's cool. And like that is what makes a movie magic, is like the real tangible things that had to be constructed to create it. So that
and
was
they just put so much time and effort. Oh, sorry.
They put so much time and effort to make a movie about child trafficking. That really is just like, obviously, like Pinocchio, if you had just listened to your conscience, you wouldn't have gotten trafficked. So many times.
You just kept getting trafficked.
So I don't know if the movie is pro-trafficking or anti-trafficking, but I know that there's something about trafficking and little boys' butts, and all of it made me go, yuck!
Yeah. Yeah. It's icky and bad.
So, yeah. I would give the movie experience a 2.
Wow.
And the 2 is earned because it's so gorgeous to look at.
Yeah, of course. And
because they're really cute cat. And unfortunately, the donkeys are really cute too. They're so cute.
Really cute donkeys.
But I mean, I think as far as like dark Disney goes, I mean, I think that this is probably not the darkest. I don't think that there's like. Although I think there's darker brainwashing happening in the song Tootie Ta. Are you familiar with the song Tootie Ta?
I don't think so.
There is a popular children's song called Tootie Ta, and it comes with a little...
Currently?
Yes. And it has a little dance that you do with it. I refuse to play it for children. And in the dance, it tells you to put your... It says, like, bottom out, eyes shut.
Oh, I do know
tongue out. No.
Yeah, I do know this.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Are you a grown man singing a song to children, telling them to put their bottom out, close their eyes, and stick out their tongue? Absolutely not. We are not, like, making that seem like a cute, funny thing for an adult to, like, get a kid to do really easily because they love this stupid song. Mm-hmm. So on a scale of 1 to 2, Dita, as far as negative influences that this movie has, I would probably put it at, again, a 2. Like, I don't, because also it's so boring. So, like, I don't think that a child would watch this and be like, oh, Jiminy Cricket's touching a butt, and there's another butt, and Geppetto wants the little boy to have a butt. I'm here saying that because I'm an adult, and I'm looking for it, and I'm, like, sniffing around for, like, the darkness. But in general, I don't think that it's really that, like, an evil film. And I also, again, I can't tell if it's pro or anti-trafficking because it's all, like, you know, wanting the little boy to behave. It's just
informational.
Yes, it's an educational film, for sure. I learned a lot. I would never watch it again. And that's my book report on
You'll never have to.
Pinocchio.
Wow. Yeah. It is definitely, like, the freakiest Disney movie off the top of my head. Aside from, like, do you know the Silly Symphonies?
No.
The Silly Symphonies are, like, first of all, gorgeous to see.
Love that.
But little, they're like Fantasia adjacent, where it's like animation set to pre-existing, I would say, like, symphonies, probably.
That would make sense.
But there's, like, a lot of devils and demons and going to hell in them.
I guess it's like, what did Disney start out as? Like, was it always going to be meant for children, or when did... I also, like, wonder that about animation in general. Like, when and how and why did it become for children?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe because... I don't know. I think, okay, I studied Walt Disney in the 4th grade. So I'm just trying to tap into what I remember.
Absolutely.
But I believe that he started with Steamboat Willie, which was, like, geared toward children. I think Steamboat Willie was the first.
I think you're right.
The first one.
And I did have a Walt Disney quote on my senior year yearbook page. I'm remembering.
Amen. And do you know?
I also think I had a quote from Johnny Depp on there.
Yeah.
I was like, problematic kings only.
Yeah.
Yikers.
Oh.
My Walt Disney quote was, it's kind of fun to do the impossible. So. Or that was my Johnny Depp quote. I don't remember.
Johnny Depp quoting Walt Disney.
Yeah.
On the set of Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah.
A great film. I hope I didn't bore you to death with my Pinocchio presentation.
Just because Pinocchio is boring doesn't mean you're boring. You could never be as boring as Pinocchio. I also don't think you could ever be boring.
Thank you.
So
that's because I'm too loud and frantic to be boring.
Amen.
I really am like a frantic, off-the-wall woman.
This woman's off the wall.
She's so crazy. I have a bag of spaghetti on my head, you know? Anyway.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what you have in store for me.
So, I'm going to talk about both movies because ultimately I want to say, well, maybe I'll just get this out. Maybe I'll just get this out at the top.
Got it.
And it takes a choice away. So I'm going to tell you what the first movie I watched was, which was Hercules.
Oh! And then you were like, this is pure.
Yeah, and well, I remember seeing it in theaters, and the cover was so nostalgic.
Yeah.
And I remember before seeing it, I went to McDonald's and I got a Pegasus figurine, and I like held it up the whole movie, like it. Oh. And anyway, I have not watched that movie in adulthood. The animation is so beautiful. All of the Greek gods are like glowing in neon. And it's just so... I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
And there, I couldn't really make conspiracies about it because it was just actually Greek mythology.
Right. And you were like, it is pure of heart. This movie was made by angels, so...
Well, I should have looked up the cast, but all of the voice acting was phenomenal.
That's true. Do you remember when, like, being a voice actor was a thing before? We have already talked about this. Because I already went on
it's like...
I went on a rant about Angelina Jolie not having to be the hot fish. Okay. Another hot fish.
That's disappointing.
What's up with
Another
fish?
hot fish. They're famous.
Hot?
Well, I was going to say Angelina Jolie was not as hot
as the sexy little fish from Pinocchio. And I think that's true.
But I'm sorry, like, I guess I'm a Disney adult now because I love this.
Yeah.
I love this.
Baby Pegasus is so cute.
Sleep, he go, meow, 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 like a cartoon. I guess what I learned today is that I like cartoons so much.
Yeah.
In my dream, I have like a 5-minute sketch. In my dream, my one dream that I've ever had, I have a 5-minute sketch of me just doing sort of a routine set to Looney Tunes noises.
And I think that you could so easily do that. That's so up your alley.
Yeah. I just gotta put my heart on the line.
Put your heart on the line. Get vulnerable.
So I watched a movie because I thought this is going to be riddled with conspiracy. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not going to be able to choose.
Okay.
And I could, like, I'm going to try my best. But it was, I guess my first hint is it was just sort of, like, utter nonsense.
Okay. Was it Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I can be so true, I knew it was Alice in Wonderland from the second you said that it featured another really cute Disney cat. Because the cat in Alice in Wonderland looks almost exactly like Figaro. So I knew.
Okay, it's amazing that you're that locked in because I didn't even remember there being a cat in Alice in Wonderland.
I don't remember its name. Thank you.
Dinah. Her name is Dinah, and she says, Dinah, if this were my world, you'd say, no, Alice.
What?
So?
Okay,
well, amazing guessing. It was Alice in Wonderland.
Sorry.
Which is another movie I remember being terribly frightened of when I was a child. Not scary at all for me this time around.
Okay, brag.
Mostly irritating.
Oh.
I was excited at first. Okay, well, also, part of Alice in Wonderland, I, like, didn't want to watch it. I was like, don't. That's not going to be your choice. Because the capitalism of Alice in Wonderland makes me feel bad. Like, the way in which Disney has capitalized on Alice in Wonderland is overwhelming to my senses.
Okay.
I did dress up as the Cheshire Cat for 8th grade Halloween, though.
Well, you would be a really perfect Cheshire Cat, if I'm being honest.
And I do resonate with every character, but especially Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yeah, I could also see that for you.
I would love to duplicate myself to sort of be that for a week.
I love that. And let's get scientists on that.
Can we get some big scientists on that? And don't disappear them.
I was going to say, probably not.
This is important work.
Yeah, because they'll be dead.
Because they'll be dead.
How many scientists have gone missing or gotten dead? Was it 22? 11?
The last I heard was 11, but then Trump, I'm sorry for saying that, fired the whole science team. And they're not called the science team.
I'm calling them that. The science team.
I think in layman's terms, the science team has been fired.
Rock on. Dude.
But science isn't real, so ultimately it won't affect us.
That's Amen.
So don't worry. I wouldn't worry if I were you.
I'll cross it off
Someone's
my
mowing
list.
their lawn now, which is going to be amazing for the pod.
I think it's nice. I think it's feeling like a nice cozy background noise that's like kind of like brown noise, which is my favorite.
Brown noise. Yeah. Is it sort of evocative of spring and it's sort of like, oh.
Yeah. It's like
spring.
It is. It's just like that.
Is it evocative of spring and telling you spring and sort of like makes you think of spring and maybe it's like something about spring?
Yeah, I think I'm getting spring, which okay.
Yeah.
Which is also the vibe of Alice in Wonderland, I would say. That's a spring movie.
She sings about flowers in June. So she has a boring ass teacher that she fucking hates, and
who's also like her sister.
Question.
I don't know.
Question
everything.
And she's reading her a book, and Alice is like, "Your book sucks ass. There's no pictures," and her sister teacher is like, maybe books without pictures are the best there are, and maybe." And then, so this is sort of where it immediately gets a little hypocritical. Maybe just use your imagination, queen. And then she's like, well, if I were in my own world, books would only be pictures. So take that. And then she takes a nap with Dinah, and then she wakes up because a rabbit's running around. She follows Rabbit, falls down what some would call a rabbit hole. Kind of crazy.
When did we start saying, like, I went down a rabbit hole about that? Like, it had to be after Alice in Wonderland. Like, that's what it's referencing. To go down a rabbit hole.
I have to imagine.
Also... No, you go. I have a conspiracy to offer, if you're taking them. I have very recently heard a conspiracy that the White Rabbit... Why is my hand like that? The White Rabbit is a pedophile. So the White Rabbit is standing in for a man who came into the garden and kidnapped Alice because he's a pedophile.
Okay.
I heard that recently. Again, did I check my sources?
Yeah.
No. Do I know anything more about it?
Don't.
No. But I've heard it.
You don't need to.
So rumor has it.
And we can go off of that.
So maybe as the person who's watched it more recently, now that I've planted that seed in your mind, you might make some more connections.
Yeah. The thing about this movie is I made almost zero connections.
Okay.
It is like there are messages, I guess. Apparently, after doing some research, the thesis of the film was be careful what you wish for.
Because she wishes for a world of her own.
Fest. She wishes to not be bored. And they're like, take this, overstimulation. Being confused a lot.
Incredible.
Got your ass.
Nerds
I can't
and
even remember
losers
the order.
Made these films.
Truly. Well, and that it does make me really do want to watch Tim Burton style, because I think he probably really takes the freak and makes it shine. Yeah. Anyway, so she comes across a doorknob, opens doorknob's like, I am actually a person. Please treat me with respect. Drink that little bottle. She drinks bottle. She's like, now I'm really small. He's like, yeah, sorry, keys on the table that you're too small for. Then she gets really big. Then she cries too much, floods the room.
Yep.
Sails away. Dodo bird singing next to her crashes on an island. Dodo bird is Lewis Carroll, by the way.
Okay.
According to sources. Lewis Carroll, the author of Alice in Wonderland. Walt Disney loved Alice in Wonderland. Loved both books, Through the Looking Glass and Adventures with Alice. Said we have to make it. And then there was sort of like a space race of Alice in Wonderland where everyone was like, we have to produce Alice in Wonderland before it's too late. Alice in Wonderland book spines featured in Pinocchio. Jiminy Cricket Sleeping.
It is
The book.
It's at the beginning.
Alice in Wonderland is a book featured in like most Disney films. Like it's that Easter egg. They love Easter eggs. They're like Taylor Swift in that way.
Before Taylor Swift, yeah. Oh my God, Walt Disney's the original Taylor Swift.
Wait, Taylor Swift ate Walt Disney's head, and that's why she's this?
Exactly.
Whoa!
What? Yeah.
She crashes on an island. And literally, I watched this less than 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Someone told her, don't know who. It was either, I think it was Tweedledum, say, hey girl, we're gonna regale you. You need to sit down so we can regale you with many tales of morality. And she's like, sounds good. I'm sad. They're like, so once there was a walrus who made friends with a carpenter, and they wanted to open a restaurant, but they didn't have the money to buy the food, and the walrus was a capitalist pig, and didn't care about exploiting people. So he manipulated oysters into coming to work at his restaurant, even though ultimately he just wanted to eat those oysters. They open a restaurant.
Okay.
They open a restaurant. They're all sitting around a dinner table. Finally, they eat bread. They're ha-ha-hee-heeing. They're kikiing at dinner. Then all of a sudden the menu comes out. The oysters start to read the menu. They're on the menu. What? Walrus eats all the oysters. Carpenter has none. Carpenter's pissed. Walrus is hungry for more. Walrus is like, dang, I ate all the oysters. Also, there's a grandma oyster with a little pearl nose, and it's precious. And all the oysters are really cute.
Yeah.
Then Alice is like sick. So, moral of the story, don't be too curious. No. And they're like, exactly. Then they're like, we have another one about a shaky old man. And she runs away.
I don't like that. I would run away too.
They started pantomiming being a shaky old man.
I don't want to hear a story about a shaky old man. That's one of the scariest things you can
Your
be.
loss.
Sorry to old men.
Especially if you're shaky.
Yeah.
Then she runs away, and then some vowels float over her head, which I totally forgot. I thought it was just shapes. Vowels are floating around her. She's like, A-E-I-O-U. Sometimes why? And then there's a caterpillar smoking hookah.
Right.
I've never smoked hookah, so I don't know what it does to you.
It's fun.
Sure.
Because it's
like
just a tobacco product.
Acid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can put anything in a hookah. I think that it traditionally
it's just
is
like a vessel.
It's like a big like tobacco puck, and they have a flavor, and then you get a little like buzz.
Okay.
When did I smoke hookah?
I'm gonna start smoking hookah after this.
It's fun.
People loved to smoke hookah during high school in my generation's time.
Me too. Yeah.
But I was a loser. Complimentary. Really cool. It gave me so much character.
The caterpillar smoking hookah seems like he's on acid.
Yeah, he's saying letters. He's rhyming but badly. And she's like, dude, I literally am just trying to chase a white rabbit. And he's like, not my problem. Keeps coughing, coughs so big, he blows her away. Then there's one scene where she's just walking like what I can only assume to be a 3-inch distance.
Uh-huh.
Takes like 45 seconds for her to get all the way back to the caterpillar. Then he's gone. He smokes, he takes one big puff, all of a sudden he's just empty caterpillar sack. Gloves and shoes gone. Now he's butterflying this guy. He's like, peace out, bitch. Good luck with the rabbit. Then the flowers start singing toward her.
Right. And they're rude.
They start out kind and cool.
Oh.
Then they become mean. Yeah.
Why do they become mean?
But they also, I think because they don't like that she's a girl. They really hate, everyone in this movie hated that she was a human child. Which is a famous fairy tale trope, I believe. Like, everyone's like, a child? A human girl? Is there anything worse? So, that's tough.
Yeah. Not according to most religious texts would agree. There's nothing worse to be than a woman.
It's true.
So
it's true. People say that. People feel that. People think that. People believe that.
Really do.
They really do. Um, Flowers sort of bully her, but ultimately she does find. Oh, the caterpillar leaves her sort of a hint and says, "One side of this mushroom makes you big. One side of this mushroom will make you small, and I won't tell you which is which, but it's probably gonna help you." And then she's like sick. And then, I will say, all of the singing flowers I do want tattooed onto me.
Yeah.
Every single last one of them.
Yeah.
Again, this film I don't. It goes without saying.
Hmm?
It goes without saying, the animation is divine. Which also is the only reason the movie got made. Walt Disney was like, there's no way you can put all of my favorite parts into the movie. And the animators were like, but what if we show you that we're doing cool stuff? And then he was like, fine, make it. I do like what you did. It's cool. You guys. Come on. Sorry. Yeah, then she keeps going, finds White Rabbit. White Rabbit's looking for gloves. He's calling her Marianne. He's saying, where are my gloves? She gets as big as his house, inside of his house. Dodo Bird needs to set the house on fire to get her out. Meanwhile, she eats a carrot, not labeled. Everything else that's made her grow has been labeled. Eats a random carrot. Rabbit voiced by Smee and Winnie the Pooh. She gets small, runs away. Dodo still sets the house on fire. Then
I've never felt crazier than I do just listening to you tell me what goes on in this film.
Amen. Amen. Then she finds the Cheshire Cat. He's sort of tossing his head around, being a little kooky crazy. Then he disappears. Then she's walking down a path. Then this dog that looks like a broom sweeps away her path. She's like, I don't know where to go now because you swept my path. Even though there's sort of like you saw where he came from, so you could keep going. Thank God the Mad Hatter's singing Very Happy on Birthday so she can follow the noise.
A very merry on birthday to you.
Beep, beep, toot, toot. Yeah.
I just became a baby in that moment. Yay, more. I like it.
It is famous. So then, oh God, she burned the house down. The tea party. And she keeps trying to get the tea party. I'm renaming Believe Women. She's just trying to get a couple words out. These two men are fucking her over. The March Hare should be flipping her off. Because she's just like, you guys, I'm literally desperate to find the White Rabbit. Which also, there's no part of the movie where it explains why she needs to find the dark rabbit, the White Rabbit. She's just simply like, he's wearing a waistcoat. I need to be going where he's going.
Yeah, she's like, oh, a formal event. Mm-hmm. I've got to attend.
She's like, oh, a party? Ooh la la.
We need to be saying ooh la la more.
Yeah, I keep saying it I keep saying it to my cat when I feed her. When I sort of present her with the pate, I say ooh la la. I think she loves it.
Well, she should.
Yeah, well, she's very ooh la la energy.
What if you had a cat and you named her ooh la la? Is that something?
That's the next one.
This is
That'll
my
be
cat.
The next one.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la.
It's also so small. So. Okay.
I do want a really small dog. I do want a dog the size of a quarter. If I could. I know.
I'd eat it. I'd like want to chew it like bubble gum.
Yeah. You ever did you like 2003 PBS Clifford, and baby Clifford was so tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
She loves it. She's purring.
Paws in one hand. Ooh, it's really being cute.
Wow. Ooh la la is what I'll say to that. Okay, so
ooh la la. So the Mad Hatter and the March Hare are being like really mean toward her and not accepting her questions. But ultimately there's a firework display and she leaves because the White Rabbit's like, oh, well, the white rabbit comes and then they destroy his watch.
Because he's late. He's late for a very important date.
Late.
Exactly. Are we losing the plot?
Apparently, what plot? Apparently his watch always says the same time, and it's supposed to represent how long she has left to be sort of fucking around, like the time she has left before she has to be serious about things again.
Okay.
It's just what I've heard. Word on the street. Then she leaves. Cheshire Cat's back again. He's like, girl, you haven't hung out with the Queen? She's like, the Queen goes to see Queen. Queen, giant. King, itty bitty. She finds out they're painting the roses red. She's like, let me get in there. I gotta help out. I love you, card guys. And then they play croquet, and oh god, the hedgehogs that they play croquet with, amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, just watch that scene. But then eventually the Queen does have to take Alice to court for being too goofy on the croquet field. Even though literally she didn't really win. If she did win, it was by accident, and she had sort of a defective club. So I think everyone should chill out. And then she remembered that she had mushrooms in her pocket, so she ate the mushrooms, and she got really big for like 2 seconds. And then she was like, oh my god, it's not scary anymore. Those are just cards. And then she shrinks back down, and she calls the Queen fat. And then the Queen's like, what did you say? And then I feel as if the rabbit is like, hey, come here this way. And so then she starts running back through all of the places she's been so far. And then she goes through the doorknob, and then she's like, doorknob, open the fuck up. I gotta get home. The Queen wants to truly behead me. She's been threatening it for hours. And the doorknob's like, you're delusional, bitch. Look through my hole. You're asleep. And then she wakes up.
Okay, and like, what do you think we're supposed to think that means?
Well, so to me, I'm sort of like, there weren't any morals. Like, she didn't have to, like, learn a hard lesson.
Like Pinocchio did.
Yeah, she just sort of was like, what a crazy dream.
Ooh.
And then she wakes up and she was like, she tells her sister, the flowers told me. And her sister's like, the what? And then she's like, and that's the whole thing.
Wow.
So.
And people do think it's based on doing drugs, of course, because there are so many references to drugs. Because I guess also from a hookah, I think you can also smoke opium.
That seems true.
I don't know. Not to brag, I've never done opium.
Yet?
No, I don't want to. I'm scared. I'm scared to do anything. So.
Sure.
You know.
I think drugs are fun, though.
Yeah, I think
have fun on drugs.
Well, I do think that they are a gift from this earth, and I forsake them. Yeah. Out of fear, because I'm brainwashed.
No, you're perfect.
Yeah, so I've heard that the White Rabbit is like a pedophile who drugs Alice. I guess I could see how that would make sense.
Only to gaslight her?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I don't know the evidence of that. Other than that, the only, like, conspiracy behind it I've heard is that, like, yeah, like, the drugs. And it's kind of like, these are drugs for kids, because it's a movie for kids. But also, again, who?
It was...
and when that came out, kids used to be different. You know?
It came out in 1951, and it flopped.
Did it?
And then, yeah. And then it was the most requested movie in theaters in 1974.
Sure.
Because people found out about it.
They were like...
People found out about it after they were doing so much acid.
Nice. Is acid like weed where like it used to be different? Like it used to be chill and now it's too intense? Is that the same?
As my understanding, I mean, like, I think acid can vary because it's a chemical compound. It's not natural.
Right.
So, to my knowledge, it's been consistently good.
Rock. I have to stop doing this. It's so embarrassing.
Well, you got it from me, buddy, and so what are you saying?
I'm saying it's cool when you do it.
Okay. I'll stop it, too.
Never, you rock,
yeah, I
never
don't know.
change.
I think LSD rules, and I think weed probably was just less potent then, and now it's been, like, so GMO'd and synthesized, and Delta 9ified.
Perfectly said.
Delta 9 does make me go insane.
I didn't even know that was a weed reference. That's how little weed I do.
Yeah. Pure of heart.
Thank you. So kind of what we've unearthed by talking about these two films is movies used to be so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And animation is beautiful.
Animation is beautiful when you put in some elbow grease. And I also think something that I experienced was, like, watching Hercules. I was a little like, because Hades is sort of, like, abrasive.
Yeah.
And sort of, like, screaming at people and saying shut up and, like, being something that you wouldn't expect in a Disney movie.
Yeah.
And Alice in Wonderland is so, like, 50s polished, and, like, there's nothing that can even be taken out of context as, like, actually freaky.
Right.
But then Pinocchio is, like, just letting your freak flag fly. So the ebbs and flows of sort of... I wish I could say words. It would literally be my dream come true if I could start speaking words.
Impossible. Women weren't meant to speak.
Too power.
That's why there are none in Pinocchio. Except for the giant fairy. At what point do you think women were allowed to be in film? In film, I mean to speak. And by that, I mean, I don't fucking know. I feel brainwashed, cuckoo bananas, crazy pants after listening to you even just describe Alice in Wonderland. They could never make a film like that in this day and age. Also, like, they could never make a film like Pinocchio, not just because of, like, the way that it is and what it contains, but also because there were, like, such long stints of it where no one was speaking. And it was amazing. Yeah. Like, there was just music, and, like, it was beautiful, and da-da-da, and it was like, that would never happen now. Now it's like, go, 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 Cocomelon, everything. Like, it's... I think that the way that film has changed and media is just obviously so reflective of the way that people and children have been changed by this one wild and crazy life we all live. And I think that what I would like to do for next week, now that we've, like, done these, like, little film synopses, I would like to do, like, a deep dive on Disney and learn a little bit more about, like, the man behind the magic and, like, what really made these two insane movies come about and what their intentions are. Because obviously I do not trust them. Because I think once we learned that we could create media for children, we learned that we could sell to children, and then we learned we could sell children. Just kidding. We were selling children long before we made media.
And it all comes back to trafficking. Yeah.
And it all comes back to trafficking. What is...
Well, and also... No, I'm so sorry.
No, I was just going to go, what is up with this world? You know, to say something generic is what I was going to do.
What is up with this world and trafficking children? Stop!
Hey, I think it's bad.
Podcasts Against Human Trafficking.com. .org.
It certainly wouldn't be .gov.
Certainly not. Well,
because the government loves human trafficking.
What I was gonna say is so dumb to say now.
I can't wait.
We're talking about trafficking so much. I was just gonna say that Walt Disney was like we're gonna be the first people to do Alice in Wonderland. And he had been doing like iterations of Alice in Wonderland beforehand. And then he was like, never mind, we're not doing Alice in Wonderland. And then he changed his mind when he saw the animation. And then after it was finished, he was like, okay, yes, we did it. And then it flopped, and he was like, I had nothing to do with this. And then people wanted it again, and he was like, it was my dream. And so, I just want to say all men are the same.
And say that. Except for those 4. Your grandpa.
Except for the 4 that we mentioned.
My dad, Jacob Wysocki, and Miles Bonsignore. And...
Stupid.
No. Incredibly dumb. Unlike every other episode and thing we've ever said. And this is where we say our send-off. And today's send-off is what, Lou?
This is where we say our send-off. Sorry, I thought, for some reason, I really thought you were going to launch into a monologue. All I can say is we are young at heart, and I hope that I freeze my head when I die.
And on that note, good night, good luck,
and good New York.
And good New York, folks.
What?
And if you made it this far, you can find us everywhere at Speculating Wildly Pod, and all of our links are in the show description. Don't forget to like, rate, subscribe, and most importantly, recommend us to your weird uncle.